Hey guys, it's Siobhan back with a long-awaited makeup tutorial, and this one is very much inspired by the current season. So I often get asked about how to successfully wear red eyeshadow. So here's my take on a red eyeshadow look. This is also really appropriate for this time of the year. You could even use this as maybe a she-devil look for Halloween if you didn't want to go down the face painted or like SFX route. But anyhow, if you want to see how it's done, just keep watching. I'm beginning by laying down a primer, and this is my cream foundation that I'm using as a concealer on my face, and this works as a beautiful primer for the eye as well, as long as you're not very oily on the lid area. Next, I'm going into INGLOT eyeshadow number 351, which is a lovely light matte cream coloured eyeshadow, and I'm just laying down this on my eyebrow area or brow bone area. Next, I'm going into this gorgeous golden highlight, which is number 08, and pressing this onto the inner corner of my eyes. And next, for the star of the show, is this gorgeous rainbow eyeshadow by INGLOT, and it's number 124, and I'm going into that top almost pinky shade and applying that just to the inner third of my upper lid. And I am basically applying these as you see them in the pan. So I'm going into that middle truer red colour and applying that onto the main part of my lid. This gives the most beautiful, pretty sparkle without being gaudy. And then I'm going into that darker burgundy colour with a blending brush this time and laying down a tissue on the outer corner of my eye, though feel free to use scotch tape if this seems a little bit awkward for you. Use that just to create a really clean edge and work that burgundy then into the outer corner and a little bit into the crease. And then when you remove the tissue or the scotch tape, you should be left with a lovely clean edge. And just make sure that they are perfectly even on both eyes, the angle. Next, I'm going into this lovely light peach shade, which is 612, and I'm using this as my transition color. This comes out as a lovely light kind of yellowy peach on the lid, so it really works as the perfect color to marry the dark with the light. Then I'm using number 308, which is this gorgeous dark wine colour, or grape colour rather, as my darkest crease colour. This is one of their newest eyeshadows out with their newest collection for this season, or this month rather, and just start working that into the outer corner. If you feel comfortable, maybe you can use the tissue again or keep your scotch tape in place while you're doing all this, but you should be able to keep that edge nice and clean as long as you don't go overboard. And then I think this is really what makes the look, and I'm bringing more of that 08 highlight over onto my lid to cover some of that red. It just gives a beautiful overlay effect. And then this is optional, but for my own eye shape, I like to have a slightly darker shade on the inner corner. It just suits kind of how my eyebrows meet my eyes. And then I'm more or less mirroring what I did over the top with the bottom. So I applied some of the lighter red on the inner corner and some of the darker and medium reds on the middle and outer corner with a very small brush, and then blended it out with that peach shade again. And I think one of the best tips for working with red eyeshadow is to apply a colour into the waterline. This just helps to add a little bit of a barrier between your eye and the red, so it'll make your eye look less tired or sickly looking, which can happen sometimes if you go overboard with red eyeshadow. Next, I'm using a water activated black eyeliner. This one is by CATRICE and I think it's absolutely brilliant. I am using it just with water, but you could use a mix and medium like the INGLOT Duraline, which would make it more durable and waterproof. And I am applying this with a small paintbrush and of course copying or following that angle that we created with the tissue and the eyeshadow earlier on. And then just as a finishing touch, I'm using the number 63 black eyeshadow, which is such a great matte intense black eyeshadow, and applying this just to the outer third of my lower lash line with a small angle brush to help marry the top and bottom lids. And then I'm applying plenty of my favourite current mascara, which is the PIXI Lengthy Fibre Mascara, and I'm applying loads of that to the top lashes only. And all that gives you a really stunning but very wearable red eyeshadow look. Now, if you're interested in my base routine, so my foundation and cheeks and all that, I just recently uploaded a foundation routine, so I will link to that below, and it's exactly what I did in this video as well as the eyebrows. But for the lips, I'm using MAC's NightMoth Lip Pencil first of all. Now my lips were really dry and cracked, which does not suit this kind of lip color, so make sure that your lips are as smooth as possible, otherwise it will show up like you can see here. But then I went over with MAC's Fibre first from the bullet and then cleaned it up with a lip brush to make it as perfect as possible, and I think this gives a really lovely dark, edgy but very wearable look. Like I said earlier on, perfect for this season, and if you did want to wear it out for Halloween, you could definitely get away with this as well. So thanks a million for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in my next video. Slán!